Greetings, my beautiful queens and kings. If you stopping by, welcome back to my channel. This is Sis Kathy Vet coming to you with another Country Wayne skit from these Country Wayne streets. Now let's
Uh-oh,
get
here we
into it.
go. You done did it again, Bethany. Larry finds out Bethany went through his mail. Let's get into it.
Please explain, please, so that I can understand this.
Okay. Well, let's get to the portion of it that you asked. Yes, I did co-sign for her. You knew that I was helping her pay her rent because she couldn't afford it. And in order for Charlotte to get into that house, she needed a co-signer. Didn't think it was a big deal, so I just co-signed, and as long as she pays her rent and everything, no big deal. So yes, to answer your question, yes, I did co-sign for her.
Okay. Do you think that you should have talked to me about that in the beginning?
I honestly didn't think it was a big deal because who does it affect? You, me. It affected her because she needed a new place to live. She's telling me she couldn't get in the place because of her finance or her past history, and she needed a co-signer. So I did it because I thought it would help her get into a better position, in a better place, which it did.
So, you say that you don't think it would have affected me, but it does affect us
How?
because we're married,
Right.
and that is your ex.
Right.
And if I were to do that with any of my ex,
I agree. Let's be fair. You'd have been pissed off. She co-signing for one of her exes that got JD or whatever. You would not taking that lightly, Larry. You didn't care about how it affected her long as Shara was comfortable and how it affected her. What does that say? To me, that says you still love Shara. Your feelings for Shara run deeper than your respect and love for your own wife. That's what that tells me. Because you didn't consider how it would affect me at all. And you know how Bethany feels about that. Now you move weak like a little punk a lot of times, Larry, because you hide stuff out of the fear of how Bethany is gonna react. Because you know she can be very volatile, high strung, and crazy. But you as a man, you that scared of her and getting the pushback that keeps you from, making these decisions and having your own daughter and niece lie for you because you ain't got the heart to stand up to your wife. That says a lot about you then. But you help her in silence. And Shara said you need to tell Bethany. She told you you need to say something because it's going to affect your household. But you chose not to. That's wrong. That's wrong, Larry.
you would be upset.
But your ex was not in the same position as Shara. Me and Shara share a child that you helped raise, and you know Shara's position.
But still.
So, I mean,
But
It's
you
still,
also
Larry.
have to look at it now. Shara is in a position where, even Brooke has said that Shara has tons of clients. She's doing great.
now she does. But when she first started moving to the house, she didn't. That was the purpose. But I can't go back and say, hey, take my name off the lease now because it's a whole year.
Okay, and I understand that. But then that brings up the secondary piggyback subject of why are you still paying $650 a month for her?
Because I told her I would do a couple of months. And until she gets on her feet.
But
which
she on her feet,
we said
Larry.
till around what? May, June, a couple of months. It's April. So I still got time with her. Now, if Shara tells me, Larry, I don't need your money anymore, I'll do it. But we had
What if
a
she
time
doesn't?
limit. I talked to you about this. But my question is this. How'd you find out?
Uh-oh.
A letter came in the mail.
A letter came in the mail. Addressed to me.
Uh-oh.
It was addressed to both of y'all. But it was from a realty company.
Oh, so a letter came in the mail to this house addressed to me and Shara
Care of Shara.
with my name on. And you again open my mail. So we doing that again.
But here's the letter.
So you could have just said, hey, Larry, there's a letter that came to
Bethany hurt. She don't give a damn. She was like, I'll open it. Because she feels deflated at this point. It's like, I'm really irrelevant to you. As a wife, if I was in Bethany's shoe, I would feel very hurt, very overlooked, disrespected, and, what am I doing here? That's why I said, will Bethany ask for the divorce with all the hell that she's created. She sees stuff. You got to understand, she's seeing things from her perspective. Now we see all the craziness she does, but Bethany always justifies in her head how she acts. Is always, she's right. We know the narcissist that she is, but so from her perspective, in this incident, I agree. It's as if, who am I? I don't mean anything to you, and she's really starting to see how much Shara still means to Larry. And I think this storyline may take a turn to really, other things may unfold. I think because of this, and what I'm seeing from Bethany, it may get to the point where we start to see how this relationship started, how it came to be when Shara cheated on Larry. We know that. She went to jail for a couple months. When she got out, he filed for divorce evidently quick, because Shara wasn't in jail that long. She filed for divorce. How long after that in this process did he meet Bethany? I like to know that. How did they get started? Because I think this may start to unfold in this storyline. We may get more of a backstory on that. She may realize that they got married for the wrong reasons and got together when he still wasn't truly over. He was hurt from Shara, but he wasn't over and stopped loving Shara. Now, you can sit up there and be angry, do things on instinct, because remember the conversation that Shara had with Larry. She said, it was messed up. They was talking, he was talking about cheating. This is before, I think, going to Montana, and they was at Shara house, remember? And she was like, I got out, Larry, and got served with divorce papers. I mean, that was kind of messed up. So, yeah, it was something on instinct out of his emotion. That's why, just like Bethany said, if you'd have did that, well, the guy, one of your exes wouldn't have been in Shara's position. You don't know. JD came because he needed some money, a loan from the father, because he was in a bad situation with his music and needed some help, needed an investor. That could have been the very same thing. Would have Bethany helped him? He was in a tight jam. You wouldn't have liked it. But because it's you and Shara and your feelings for Shara still, you think it's okay. And so how Bethany felt is irrelevant. You knew she wouldn't have liked that. You knew it. That's why you was too scared to tell her. Punk, you didn't tell her. You ain't had the heart to tell her. You ain't got the heart to tell her you was in Puerto Rico and you done been back from the trip for a month now. Come on, Larry. But I think this is what we're going to see more in the dynamics of this marriage. But yeah, she did it, and she don't care that he knows she opened up the mail. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do, Larry? Yeah, she opened up the mail, and
the house with your name on and Kara Shara, I could open it for you and explain it to you, but you took it upon yourself to go through my mail again, and that's how you found it. I'm not. Is that not the truth?
This is me asking you for honesty.
Well, I gave you honesty.
And I just gave you honesty as well.
Yes, okay, so now we're being honest. So, yes.
I've been honest with you for a very
I
long
co-signed
time.
for Shara to get a place.
You should have been honest with me in the beginning when you did that.
You shouldn't open my mail again. You should wait till I got home.
Ain't no wait until y'all got home to open up the mail.
For you
should have told her when you first co-signed.
Larry,
Understand.
I would never had to do that if you would have just been honest with me from the get-go.
What? What did I lie about? What did I lie about?
You always say that. You always say, yeah.
Have you ever asked, you just asked me. You didn't know. But if you asked me, Larry, did you co-sign for Shara? I told you yes. But I didn't think it was a big deal, because I just signed my name and said, okay,
Why
you're
would she think about telling you something
Hope it
like
works out
that,
for you.
Larry?
And left it at that.
Co-signing ain't come through her
couldn't
mind.
afford that house, and you still didn't think that was going to be a problem. Like,
Right.
I also knew that Shara was living in a bad situation, and you disrespected and just dogged her for the place she was living in.
And I told her I was happy that she was in a nicer neighborhood
And so am
and
I.
a nicer home and all of that. And then you got mad that I went over there and told her those nice things about her new house.
Because you weren't invited over to her home, and I didn't need you to go over there and back me up with that.
Right.
So yes, Bethany, I helped Shara get into a new place.
Ever do this for an ex, even if I was in the exact same position as you. I would never do this without talking to you
That's
first.
just it. you're not in the same position as me because me and Shar had a
With that being said, Larry, y'all have a child. Yes, you don't got to keep throwing that in her face, especially after she lost it. It's a very raw, I'm sure, and sensitive. That's her whole problem. The fact that y'all have a child and she lost the one that she could have had with you. That's a big issue for Bethany, and that's what she's still carrying a lot of pain and weight on that, and you being insensitive about it. Seriously, that affects women a lot. Some do a lot different. They carry that pain of a lost child differently. I guess Bethany is carrying hers in a very bad and toxic way, but it's painful for her, and you're insensitive to that. Maybe if you have a little bit more understanding towards that, maybe she'll be a little nicer to your exes. But this is disrespectful. The fact that y'all got a child together, I don't give a damn. I would not care who you got a child with. You gonna talk to me about making a move like that? She in a bad situation. Yes, get out of that. Get a nicer place. But she needed to get something more affordable. Something more affordable. Period. And now that she's in a certain situation, I'm like, sure, I want to help you, but I can't co-sign. But let me find out with Bethany first. And it is what it is. Now, if this is co-signing under a year lease, then your name, you will have to redo it. And then maybe she wouldn't need a cosign after the year is over. However, she's doing real good now, and you making it easy for her. Yeah, she business doing good. Is the 6 months up? No, it don't seem like 6 months up. This ain't been no 6 months. You talking about you do it for a couple months. I thought it was 6 in the beginning, but a few months like May, June. Well, May is Friday. Go to Shara today. Say, Shara, are you good? You no longer need my assistance? I'm just checking before Friday. See what she say. She better say, no, I don't need your help. But why wouldn't she keep taking your money? It's just putting her in a better place. Better put her in a better position. You better find out something before May 1st. Or that's going to be the last payment. Okay? The last payment since she's doing so good. Okay, Larry, you a trip. You a trip on that. But stop throwing up the fact that that's your child's mother. Bethany is no baby. Shara can stand on her own 2 feet now, and that needs to stop. Bottom line is, you gonna ask for a divorce or what? Because it's neither here nor there if you want to ask the woman for a divorce. You ain't asked for a divorce yet. We done with the whole situation with Brooke or whatever, or Destiny in the fight. We done with that. What happened? See, you so weak. What happened to the conversation you supposed to have about wanting a divorce? Do you want it or not? If you're going to stay with her, then you need to respect her. And you need to deal with that situation with this whole rent thing. Resolve that in some type of way to make your wife feel better. If that's what you want to do. If you want to divorce her, then you need to change this conversation to that. And then it ain't going to matter. But stop stringing her along if this not where you want to be. Because you torturing all the followers. All right? To put in the comments, y'all, what you think about this situation, this conversation. Basically like the last one, but you know, the whole throwing up. Do you think that's still a sore spot with Bethany, and why she's so negative towards Lynette and Shara, and you know, using the fact that him and Shara have a child together as a reason to keep doing things for her like this, you know, and against how his wife feels. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, comment, share. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.